Hello. And we're back. So, right where we left off, let's continue part 2 of our questionnaire. God, this is really bizarre, actually. Kind of like pretending to talk to an audience that is not actually there yet. Right? Can anyone back me up on that? That's kind of weird. It's kind of like having to, in your mind, pretend that people are there. Because you know they will be when they're, I don't know. How do you do it, you YouTubers? Okay, so Anode writes, if you could turn back time to change exactly one thing in my past, would I do it? And if so, what would I change? Nothing. Nothing. I'm in a very peculiar spot in my life, as I mentioned before. I'm kind of at like a strange crossroads of like what I want to do with myself professionally, which of course is a very personal journey, especially like being qualified to do something and having spent time doing something that, as it turns out, I cannot stand. But at the core of that, like, I'm a happy person. I like the person that I am, and I've had a really shitty life. I have been very let down by the people that were entrusted to raise me on all fronts. From both of my parents are dead. The people who were guarded with my safety and well-being thereafter did not do a good job. So I spent a lot of time with myself. I spent a lot of time fending for myself, and like I realized very early on that a lot of what was going on had nothing to do with me, so much as it, I was just kind of, a ship in that storm, and I have always had sort of a respect for myself that no one else ever did, and it served me well, and I've never really considered the thought of ever going back on anything in my life. I would never revisit anything. If I've made bad decisions, I did so because I thought either it was a good decision at the time and I learned from it, or I was misguided or unguided or something. I'm not very old, and I'm very willing to, administer blame where it was due at a certain point for the people who let me down. And it's not that I hold them, it's not a resentment issue, but I'm definitely willing to point those people out and be like, hey, you blew it. So I'm doing, all things considered, very well for myself. I have a beautiful home, husband, cats, the internet. So I'm happy with the things that have played out for me. And nothing, I don't know that I would be able to, to have the sense of self-respect and the sense of who I am as a person, if things had not played out the way that they did. Would I have certainly maybe been okay if they had played out a little less turbulently? Of course. But that said, like, I don't know. I'm a happy person. I like my life. If I could get a reliable glimpse of your future, would you dare looking? No, probably not. I'm somebody, again, I've lived my life very, like, moment to moment. And as such, I have an appreciation for each of those moments for what they are. And, I think having a foreknowledge of what is to come might definitely be traumatizing to me in the way that I perceive my life and as a set of events. If you could kiss any person except your husband, who would it be? Hmm. I don't know. I actually don't know. Um, hmm. That's a very good question. One that I don't actually have an answer for. I guess really, like, and this is so corny. Nobody that I can think of. Um, so, lest I need my handy dandy hand sanitizer. This came in the mail for me the other day, and I don't. It was addressed to me, but had no like. I don't know who sent it to me, and it's really funny. See, I have friends. They're funny. If I were reincarnated based on my current life, what animal would I be? If you could choose for yourself, what would you like to be? Probably a cat. So there's one right over my shoulder. Hi, Doodles. That weirdo is just, he sits up there and he just, what's going on? I don't know. They seem pretty happy, and they have all the similar interests that I do. Sleeping, so much sleeping. On a scale from 1 to 10, how romantic are you? What about your husband? Do you think romance is important for a marriage, even after years? I personally have a very, like, sort of whimsical idea of romance. Matt's romantic, not at all. It is really funny. He is so. There's a word for this, and I cannot think of it. He is like. I don't know. It's really funny. And he thinks I'm really cheesy. So I tend to find the romance of things all by myself. Um, but no, I mean, we have our moments that are undeniably romantic. And um, do I think romance is important for a marriage? Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of it is less about like the forced, candlelit dinners type romance, and more about like the just the little moments that you know of intimacy that matter most. That you know the little moments in everyday life that kind of heat up the space between two people. I think, and I think it's incredibly important. Matt and I have that every day. Like we're laying in bed in the morning, and like yeah, like if his arm touches mine, or he like grabs me or something, like even in his like if he's dead asleep and doesn't even mean to, like that it's sweet and it's reassuring, and it's I don't know, stuff like that. Again, there's me like being romantic by myself. um, of all of the places I have been in my life, which one did I like the best? I can actually read this right up here. So fuck this up. Oh shit. Sorry. So I've been to Mexico a lot, and I've been to Central and South America. Um, a little bit. Mexico was amazing. We used to own a vacation home in Playa del Carmen, which was it was beautiful all by itself. But like I got to see a lot of the like Mayan ruins and stuff, um, and a lot of those archaeological sites. And it's breathtaking. It's like nothing else I've ever seen. And I've not done a lot of traveling otherwise, except around America. And I am so bored talking to myself. No, to stand before all of that was, it was, there are no words to describe it, to be honest. It was something that made me feel so small and so, to have such respect for something and that you don't really understand, like all those pyramids, all the ball courts, and which is what I particularly loved about the section of Tomb Raider Underworld, was the recreation of that. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Just let me tell you about it. I fall asleep. Um, was the recreation of some of those ruins. Uh, it definitely took me back. That is among my favorite place in the world. Probably was visiting the ruins at Chichen Itza. It's huge. It's enormous. The whole site is just it's enormous. Um, and so you can like meander from one end to the next, and just it's between like the oh, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. The giant pyramid, of course, which I cannot remember what the name of it is, but I used to know. And then there's like I said, the ball courts. There was the the place where they study the stars. Wow, I'm totally like crapping out in my head right now. Anyway, it's magical to me. I still, after years, like hold it very dear to me. Um, so that would be, and the place that I have been that I like the least, Los Angeles, California. Shithole. Complete shithole. It's fake. Ooh, it's fake. Everything is so revolved around like the entertainment aspect of it, and it is not real life at all. Celebrities are not real people. Like, I definitely understand. I was there for 6 months, um, and I was there actually while Britney Spears was having her meltdown, and I saw her several times. I saw her twice at a Starbucks, and I saw her once like sitting in traffic. And the time she was sitting in traffic, she was like crying hysterically, and it was like very surreal. I'm a huge Britney fan, and like to like see her as this real person, like sitting in traffic, like losing her mind. I was like, ugh. And everything that I know about like LA and like the thing that they're trying to do there, it's like inhuman, and it turns people into this inhuman character, and it's very weird. I I don't wish to go back to it. Um, which of the Spice Girls does your penis most resemble? Oh, excuse me. Writes Rob M. 2007. Posh Spice, of course. My butthole and my scrotum. Well, I don't know. I will have to hold auditions, and I'll let you know. How was your first married sex like? Anything particularly more special? Not really. um, I know that we had sex right before, like literally hours before we got married, like before the deed was officially done. But I don't exactly remember. We certainly did not have like the night of. That shit does not happen. um, do I have a prenuptial agreement to protect my millions? No. Mm-mm. Have to battle it out like Anna Nicole Smith. No. In fact, everything that I am worth and everything that belongs to me is specifically entrusted to my husband. Did Westboro Baptist Church protest your homosexual wedding? No, not in Chicago. We're pretty gay up here. I think they would have had a really hard time picketing my wedding. Not to mention, their protests would have fallen on deaf ears because the venue in which I chose for my special day is right just to the. It's almost underneath like an elevated subway line type thing, and it's really loud out there. Oh my god, it's so loud. It's almost a wonder that anybody at all couldn't hear it from the inside, but it is way loud. So, while I would have been very flattered that they chose my little nuptial shindig to make a fuss, I it didn't happen. Sorry, I'm trying to read ahead. Best wedding gift you got, and please spare us the corny shit like my husband. So I actually got a lot of shit. Among my favorite stuff. So I'm big on like stemware and shit. But I will show you. Actually. Yeah. So I got these. And they are Rydell flutes with the red thread that runs through the stem. And they have black base. They are beautiful crystal. I have 4 of them. And in fact, one of my groomsmen, whatever, our wedding party, gave them to me. They're very expensive. They were like $135 a piece, and I put them on my wedding registry as sort of like something to get myself, like something that I like. Oh, no one in a million years buy me that. Well, he bought me the set of 4, and there you have it. And then I have a shit ton. Let me see if I can. Oh, you can't see it. There's a ton of glasses in here. As well as up here. And we got these cute little. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. I'm like running around in my hussy clothes. We got these cute little glasses. I don't know. So stuff like this, I'm a big fan of my stemware. Matt hates it all, by the way. He hates every bit of it. He doesn't understand why we need all those glasses. He doesn't understand why anybody should have that many glasses, what the point of all those glasses are. He hates them all. What kind of cake did you have? If there was no cake, then what the fuck is wrong with you, girl? I did have a cake. It was actually very cool. Oh, I bet I could find a picture for you, in fact. Wedding photos. Oh, shit. Fuck. So if I can't find this quickly, I will abandon hope for this project. So the cake was round and white and otherwise entirely plain. And had, let's see if you can even see this. Can you see this image? Yeah, you can see it just barely. So this image is one that we created for our wedding. This is actually my wedding invitation. Well, advertisement, really. So the Y is the Chicago Municipal Device, and it represents where the river meets in Chicago. And then we have 7/25/2015 written in the spaces, which of course was the date of our wedding. And this image was actually projected onto the top of the cake, and it spun slowly on top of it, which was actually much more cost effective than having one of those beautiful ornate pieces of shit that people were just going to tear apart anyway. And it was a white cake, and it had a lemon. It was two-tiered. No, I guess it was 3 tiers with 2 filling. It had like a apricot, because it was orange and pink, like that. And a raspberry filling. I don't know. I didn't eat it. We had our little like spoon-fed silliness. Oh! I found it. Oh no. Sorry, I'm trying to find this for you. And of course it's not working. Messages. Okay. It's fun watching me wiggle nervously, trying to figure this out. I'm having so much fun with you guys. Oh yeah, I really just cannot see anything on there, can you? Let's see if I can turn down the... Anyway. That's what my cake looked like. And that took way too long. Thank you for putting up with that. What's the last name situation? Hyphenated, same as before. So my entire name actually has changed. Well, except for my first name. Before I was Jacob Ryan Burns, and now I am Jacob Lawson Mitchell. Uh, Matt's last name is Mitchell. Lawson is, so as I mentioned, my parents are dead. And I had a family growing up who was very kind to me, and on multiple occasions when I needed it, allowed me to stay with them, took me in as their own, like never asked questions. In fact, demanded when I broke up with my ex David of 6 years, my friend's mother Shelly, she was just like, okay, we'll get all your stuff and just come home, come here, get everything, and like, and that's their last name, and there are two of them. There are Shelly, well, excuse me, three of them. Shelly, who is the mom, and then there are Jana, who is my age, and then Jamie, who is a few years younger. But I'm incredibly close with both of them. I consider both of them my siblings. And so that is their name, and then Mitchell is my husband's last name. I decided to do that because my middle name was Ryan, which I am named after, my father chose this. I'm named after Nolan Ryan, who is a baseball legend person. But the kicker is that Nolan Ryan is also from the same small town outside of Houston that I am from, or at least he's lives there or something. It's fucking gross. And I used to work in television, and I've met this man, and like he is a shit kicking hillbilly. Oh my god. And so like when I met him on multiple occasions, my grandmother's just like, oh well, this is my grandson Jacob. Like, he was named after you and all this stuff. And like I got to see this guy who's like, oh my god, look at this gay guy who is named after me. Like I'm sitting there like, yeah, this is fucking awkward. Trust me, I have like, and my dad and I had a very tumultuous relationship, and so like the soonest I could, I actually went by Jacob Ryan for a long time because my dad's last name has always just been something I have abhorred. Burns is a terrible last name, as anybody can tell you. And I got tired of the excellent Smithers jokes after about 5 minutes of hearing them. It was bad. And so I opted to change my full name. And now I have. And it is proven to be, I do like having my name changed. However, I did not realize the great lengths that everybody has to go to in order to effectively get the whole thing done. It's a real pain in the ass. So let's see. And Matt has not changed his name at all. My ring, I can show it to you. It's not on my hand. Or I took it off rather, but so. Maybe it's better in context. This is very hard to get dead on. I don't know why this is so hard for me. So anyway, it's an emerald cut stone with I guess, yeah, there's 6 emerald cuts of varying sizes on the side of it. Mine looks like this. Matt's does not have any stones. He hates stones. He thinks they're frilly and no! Hold on. Hey, stop! Oh, hold on. God damn it. Sorry. Housekeepers have not yet come, and there are like remnants of flowers on the floor or something, and the cats keep trying to eat them, and I don't know if they're poisonous or not. So I'm trying to stave that off. Do I like ribs? I have sort of a weird. No, I do not. That's my husband does. He really likes them, but I have a really hard time eating meat in that manner. Pig's feet, definitely have never even bothered to try. Going with no. Marry, Fuck, Kill, Hasbro Edition. Furby. Hungry Hungry Hippos. Miss Potato Head. Okay, I'd probably marry Furby. Furby's always watching and assimilating. Furby seems like a smart guy. I'd probably fuck a hungry hippo, because then you could eat after, right? Sorry, Miss Potato Head. You are what we're eating after you're dead. Who do I want to win the presidential election? Hillary Clinton, to be honest. She seems okay. She's all up my gay agenda. Plus, I think she's just so cute in all those pantsuits. She's just cute. Thoughts on the idea of Texas seceding from the Union? Hilarious. Being from Texas, I have had quite a bit of firsthand experience with the lunatics who are like, oh, well, we'll just make Texas secede. And I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen. You would have to, like, fight the U.S. Army. But, okay. Bye. How many times have you caught your grandma on the toilet? Wow. None? Of all the things my grandmother ever caught me doing, I can safely say that, I don't know. I have always managed to well schedule my bathroom time, I suppose. Do you like ribs? This time answer in another language. Speak gibberish. Nyet. How would I feel if the following celebrities died? Jane Fonda? Well, I would be just heartbroken. Jane Fonda of 9 to 5 fame, and Jane Fonda, oh, she's in that show that I'm watching now, that Grace and Frankie. Nicole Richie, I mean, she has children. I would be sad for her kids. Dr. Phil, he can kick it anytime now. How many soccer balls can fit up your butt? Well, hope is a funny thing like that, I suppose. Soccer balls are, I'm not a large person. A soccer ball would probably not go. Oh, it's how many? Goral, you better learn to type. How many used Toyota Camrys? Not even a single used one. Do you personally recognize Pluto as a planet? Absolutely not. Words have meanings. If you had to eat a celebrity's scalp, ugh. That's fucking gross. I'm not answering that because I can't even, like. Thoughts on wearing white after Labor Day? I wear white year fucking round. If you saw Winston Churchill at a Pokemon tournament, what would you ask him? Probably if he had the same strategy for winning a Pokemon tournament as he did World War II. Ever have a pregnant scare? No. can't say that. I mean, I was once worried that my cat had become pregnant. If you were a woman, do you think you would have had an abortion by now? If so, how many? Oh, yeah. I don't know about the number. I guess it's one of those things that I guess I would pay more attention to if I were a woman, but I'm not. That sounds like the scariest thing in the world. Thoughts on socks with sandals? If it is, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not gonna. That's my thoughts on that. How about nasal sex? I don't know what that is, but I do know that like sex usually involves one's genitalia. So if you are putting your nose and your dick together or your other lady parts, then I know nobody needs that. There are enough instances in which that happens accidentally. We don't need any more of that. Give us your best impression of Julia Child faking an orgasm. Well, I've never actually seen her. I've only ever seen other people impersonating her. So, and I don't really know that to be quite honest, I don't really know who she is. I know she was that lady on TV who had the very peculiar way of talking, the cooking show. But I'm gonna have to give you a pass on this one, and I'm sorry because I don't. Perhaps I will record a special video later, but I just don't feel like I could do it justice without really knowing who the woman is. Oh, and I'm done. It looks like. Alright, well, so thank you. I hope I have not bored you to tears too badly. So anyway, I look forward to your responses to my prattling on and chasing my cats all over the house and my terrible ponytails and my silly shirts and all that. Thanks. Bye.